friends, I'm Heather, one of the Northville studio instructors, coming to you today with a healthy tip, and this one is about healthy hip mobility. Our hip joints are, bar none, one of the most helpful joints in our entire body. They are responsible for helping us to walk, run, jump, you name it. They bear the weight, they bear force, so it's so important for us to keep those strong. And one of the leading causes of those hip joints becoming less mobile is being sedentary. So we're coming off of a season, or a year, if you will, of COVID, plus a winter season, and both of those together, right, we're in a place where maybe we're working from home more, we're just being more stationary than normal, and when that happens, we tend to lose muscle in our glutes. We're shortening through that hip flexor. And when we do that, our body naturally gravitates to our stability points, our lumbar spine, as well as our knees, and it compromises those stability points to make up for the loss in the mobility in the hip. When that happens, we start to set ourselves up for that injury, making our bodies more prone to having injury in the long run. And what happens when we have that achy low back or aching knees, we again become more sedentary. So it seems to be that vicious cycle, right, that gets us in trouble. So I'm here today to talk to you about a couple exercises that we regularly do here at the Barcode that help keep that mobility in your hips, or for you to gain that back. And also exercises that you can do at home as well. So you can continue to work on that on your own when you're not here at the studio. The first one is going to be a hydrant exercise. So it takes you on all fours. So you're on all fours, your shoulders are stacked right over top of those wrists. Your hips are right over top of those knees, bringing that heel into your seat. And then making sure you have that midline pulled in, that long, flat back. Okay, you're gonna open directly to the side and lower with control. That abduction movement through that hip and lowering it right back down. Key here is to keep that long neutral spine. You wanna make sure you're not twisting through the spine to open that leg. You're taking away from that movement. The focus here is on that hip. Anytime we work our glutes, that glute medius, your glute max, and your core together, you are strengthening those muscles surrounding that hip joint, allowing for better strength going forward, to allow for better hip mobility. So you continue that movement, that abduction movement away from the body. Now, the second movement is going to be a glute bridge. I'll move out so you can see. So your heels are directly behind that seat, laying flat on the ground right here. Your hands are directly at your side. Use your glutes. Press that seat up to the ceiling, creating that long straight line. And that long straight line is from your knees to your hips and your hips to your shoulders. And then you lower down. You press, squeeze up, and then lower down to that mat. So this is going to be that flexion movement, the other movement that our hips tend to help with. So you need both flexion and abduction to keep that hip mobility. So using both of those exercises, not just here in the studio, but doing it at home, is most certainly going to help you gain or maintain that hip mobility. And I'm going to show you one stretch that also has helped me. So it's called the scorpion prone. Prone meaning that your stomach's going to be on that mat. Your arms are directly out toward your side. Your chin should either touch the mat, or you can lift it up in front, whatever works for you. Your goal is to keep those arms planted. As you do this, they may lift directly under the shoulder, but that should be the only place. So you're going to lift up from the mat with one leg. You bend, cross it over, and your goal to try and tap that mat on the other side. You take that twist, really stretching out that hip, bring it back to center. Then lift the other leg and do the same thing, really feeling that stretch right across that hip and take it back. So again, so important to keep those hips moving, keep that mobility going in that hip area, the flexion and the abduction, to keep your hips young and healthy. I hope you gained something from this video today, and have a good one.